Oh, the point is this is me. So people buy from people they trust. Would everybody agree with that statement? Yeah. If you can show them trust, we're reputable, we're doing work in your neighborhood, look at us, then people will buy you instead of the two other people that they also called to come out to that house to provide a free estimate. Would we all agree that we're all competing against other customers? Raise your hand if you compete against other customers at times. And if you don't, that's fine. Does anybody not compete against other customers? That's what I thought. All right. My name's Steve Spence. I'm the owner. I was a teacher for 20 years, special education teacher. I coached lacrosse, so the high school in Maryland, which is where I'm from. I coached this guy. About 20 years later, he's like, hey, coach, I need to show you Project Map It. So I was the first ever employee. I bought him out in 2020, and I've been grinding ever since. 51-year-old, second career, 8 years in. I love every bit of it. You're probably going to see that as I talk today because I'm very passionate about this. Yeah, the people that were here before know this already, but I am a fan of the outdoors. I'm a lacrosse guy. My son decided finally as a junior in high school not to play lacrosse, which was great for me. Because I've seen that he doesn't love lacrosse anymore, and he only played because why? Because dad was his coach and stuff, so he didn't want to let me down. So we had a really good father-son conversation about a month ago, and he chose not to play. So we're a small team. We have competitors. Anybody? Well, you don't have to tell me, but there are competitors out there, probably two, enough in our space to everybody be fruitful and do a good job. But we do have some competitors that are like 500 people in their company. We have 8, okay? This is what I said. This is my disclaimer. 8 years I've been doing it. I'm a lifelong learner. I learn all the time. I'm a sponge. I want to learn. So today we're going to learn from each other as well. This will hopefully be pretty engaging. So my point is I'm not a sales coach, even though I'm talking about sales. And the way I kind of say is I talk to contractors all the time that use our system. So we have very good relationships with all of our companies that we work with. Small team, we want to show loyalty, trust ourselves. So I've learned a lot in my 8 years. So I'm just sharing today what I've learned through either research or through my interactions at all these business building workshops. I've done all 3 seasons, been to about 19. I think this is our 21st stadium that we've presented in. It's pretty freaking good job. I mean, I love that. So I've been everywhere. Lambeau Field was my favorite, to be totally honest with you. Just the culture and the tour guide was amazing. So I know a lot, but I don't claim to be an expert. You all are the experts. Does that make sense? Is that fair to move into this presentation that way? This is it, right? This following the herd mentality. If you had a tool that could show a homeowner that you are the one for the job over any of your competitors, would you have that tool? And I think everybody would say yes, right? So that's what we are. Our product shows a homeowner, it gives them confidence in order to use you instead of other people. How many, just out of curiosity, when you go in and you're talking to a customer, has a customer ever shared with you like, yeah, this other company, they said it was only going to be $13,000. You're telling me $15,000. Right. Yeah, right? I mean, I know the answer, right? Because that's what people do. I'm a homeowner. I would do the same thing. I would leverage that. So the point is, if you can prove this, then it doesn't matter if you're $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 higher than that other joker. You're still going to win the bid because they're going to trust you. I always share this story. Got an HVAC system in 2024 winter, so not too long ago. It was pretty cold outside, so we had to get a new air conditioner or whatever, well, heater. I Googled it. There were 2 companies. One had 300 reviews. One had 22 reviews. Which one did I go with? 300. Yeah, and I got quotes from both, and the one that was the 300, they were $1,500 more for the system. I still chose them. If I chose this person, I knew I'd be calling in 3 years to get this person that I should have gotten in the first place to come fix the problems because this person didn't know how to install it. We've all been there. We all understand what I'm talking about. Okay? So that's what we do. These are partners. We're small, but we're mighty, especially in the roofing and siding and exterior remodeling business. Okay? I'm going to do it. I'm going to flip it from the people that were in my first session. I'm actually going to talk about Project Map It first. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask questions because people had questions that didn't have time at the last session. They came up to me afterwards. They're like, is it okay to put a full address on a map? So if you have questions, we'll go through the system. That way when I talk about the sales process, you'll see how Project Map It can fit into each one of those funnels. But like obviously CertainTeed, we're an exclusive partner of theirs. They love us, we love them. We have a very close relationship. We've been with them for about 5 years. When I was a small baby company, they were a multi-billion-dollar company. They were the first one that gave us a chance. So talk about loyalty. I love these guys and ladies. We are now integrated with the big 3. Okay, and what these 3 allow us to do, and I'll talk about it when I do the presentation, but we actually can build your maps through your delivery orders from those supply companies, okay? We'll talk about that. Company Cam we're integrated with. Our pins on our map, you can put pictures on them. So if you're in Company Cam, you can push pictures from Company Cam over into Project Map It just by clicking and tagging. It's a pretty simple process. Anybody use Company Cam? Great system. They even have a mapping platform. They just busted it out, right? Anybody know about their mapping platform? Okay, they have one, but ours is, we are a mapping platform. They have a functionality that's a map. Okay, so those are our partners. We love them, most of them. Just like everybody, some of our partners we don't really work with as much. So these are the things I'm going to be talking about. The speed to lead part, right? A call comes in, a form is filled out, whatever. Your pre-appointment process, what does that look like? If you sit down at the table, I'm going to talk about that. This is where, as an expert of a 20-year teacher, I think I can actually speak as an expert on that. And then any post appointments, the pre-appointment and the speed to lead and the post appointments, they're kind of the same. You know, you don't want to give up after the first try. So, okay, so this is the demo of Project Map It. We want to build trust. So I say this in every single one, and I swear to you, I forget their names. What were their names? Jack and Rose. Jack and Rose. So you got Jack and Rose. They trust each other. You know, if anybody wants to take that picture with me later on, we can take a picture, post it on LinkedIn or something. That's my favorite social media. All right, speed to lead we're going to talk about later. So let's just talk about Project Map It. So we're an interactive map. Okay, so this map, and if you look underneath the black box over here, 2,143, we would put your logo in here. We would brand it to your logo. Speaking of branding, just so you understand, this is the logged in version. So this is where you manage Project Map It, bless you. These are just random maps, not random maps. These are maps that we like, so we share at these types of events. Pinnacle Roofing out of Rhode Island. This is their map, so notice they use houses instead of pins. We can change the houses and pins to any color you want to match your brand. This is great, StormGuard. We have a lot of StormGuards. They're a franchise company. We can use your logo if your logo works really well. It's got to be like a really nice high-res logo, though. It's not always a perfect thing. But the point here, and then Chief Roofing, they have a black background, okay? So my point here is we have tons of customizations. And I'm going to answer this right now. Like if I click on a thumbnail here or on a pin itself, it doesn't matter. It'll pop something open like this. This is a pin. We're going to talk a little bit more about this. But the first thing, and I'm going to answer it because there was a question that the lady didn't get to ask on the last one, is can you put a full address on a map that's publicly shown on your website? Because this can be embedded on the website. The answer is yes. In North America, United States specifically, you can put an address, a full address, without permission from a homeowner. Okay, we've been vetted by multi-billion-dollar companies. CertainTeed, one of the hardest with their legal, since they're owned by Saint-Gobain in France. They have lots of legals. So we've passed the sniff test of everybody. I can go to Zillow right now, right? Can't we all go to Zillow and look at pictures inside and out, right? So it is legal. Now, with that said, if you wanted to just show the city, state, and zip code, we have privacy settings. So you can just say, hey, map, only show the city and state and zip, and that's fine. 99.5%, there's probably one roofing contractor out there that just shows the city, state, and zip. But why would a roofing exterior remodeler want to show the full address, obviously? Huh? So people can run by. Drive by. Perfect scenario. I had a customer call me, marketing director, Miller's Roofing Incorporated out of York, Pennsylvania. Steve, my sales rep just came in and said they sold a 50-square roof because we put a Project Map It link within our proposal that they sent after they left the house, right? Homeowner looked at the proposal, said, oh, look at this page. This is a portfolio of their past work. Clicked on it, saw some houses, and drove by. And the lady literally told the person, the sales rep, we chose you out of the other 3, there were 4 total that they were looking at. We chose you because we were able to drive by and actually see your work. Okay, proof doesn't lie. So how does it interact and stuff? Let me go to the computers. It's just easier, so I'm not wasting time. So interactively, it can change based on these buttons up here, right? This 187, it's a cluster, just neatens up the map. If you wanted to show all 187 pins there, we have a setting to show all 187 pins. Have you ever been to a map, though, where it's like a clump of pins and you can't click on them, and it's frustrating? So that's why we use Google to run our system. That's why it has clusters, but you can choose not to. But that alone, if I zoom in to a certain region and I see all those pins and I show that to a homeowner, can you see how that adds a lot of credence to your footprint digitally? We're doing work in your area, right? And I can zoom all the way down into a community, right? So look, we've done about 50 jobs in your community. And not everybody in this room is going to have that. We just talked to a customer. We just talked to a company that came by our booth after the first session. They're like, we just started. We have 3 roofs. We've done 3. Can we use you? And I said, absolutely. And it was more based on the marketing stuff. And when I explained that to her, she's like, you're totally right. So if you're a brand new company, stop by the booth after or talk to me afterwards. We'll explain how it would still benefit you. All right. So interactively, you have this gallery over here, and then you have these buttons. Reviews. If I click on this, it's going to automatically show all of your Google reviews. Okay? So your salespeople, if you sit at the in-home and the homeowner's like, hey, do you have any reviews? I'd like to read some. Yeah, here you go. Here's 150 of them. Right? We also work with Facebook, but Facebook's been really crappy to us lately. So we're completely rebuilding the Facebook integration. That's going to be done probably within a month. So you'll be able to show Facebook reviews as well. Something that I told my first session, Project Map, we're our own review platform as well. So I won't get into the review process like I did in session 1, but how many of you are asking for reviews? How many put it in your process? Yeah, look, if you don't, if it's one thing you take away from this session, and I'm not even going to go deep into reviews, is get consistent reviews. It is literally the most important thing. If I ask you for a Google review and you don't have a Gmail account, can you leave me a Google review?
I don't think you can. No.
I don't think I can, but a little unsure of that answer. Does anybody know the answer? Yeah, a lot of contractors don't realize that.
I think it's no.
The answer is no.
Yeah.
You have to have a Gmail account to leave a Google review. So for those of you that are sending an automatic email through your CRM or something like that, it's like, hey, the job was done. Can you leave me a review? Or you send a text, and the only thing you're putting in there is a Google link, and they don't have a Gmail account. Guess what you just did? You wasted time because they can't leave you a review. So we are our own review platform. Requires absolutely no logins. So I won't get into the nitty gritty, but just to give you an idea, in our platform, you build out a reviews landing page. That's what you're looking at here. And on that reviews landing page, you can put any of your review platforms. You can throw Google first because everybody wants a Google review. I get it. You can put Project Map next just to give you an idea of what our review system looks like. You click on it, and that's our review system. They put their name, their last name. When it generates, they only put the initial of the last name, so the full name never shows. They leave a review, just like a normal review. They submit the review, okay? So, again, not getting into the weeds, but does anybody know why a review itself is very helpful for AI searchability and Google searchability, SEO? What makes a review? Is it the 5-star or is it the written part? Yeah, anything written about your company anywhere, so i.e. reviews, helps you out big time. Because Google and all the AI bots out there sniff it and they crawl and they read all of that data that's written about you. And it shows that you're relevant, it shows that you're real. This person wrote a review for Pelican Roofing. Okay, so getting reviews is very important, considering that Better Business Bureau, Angie, Yelp, all of them require a login or some sort of business account set up before they leave a review. A lot of customers, I'm a homeowner, I wouldn't do it. I still today don't have a Better Business Bureau account to leave a company a review. Our review system is a really good backup, and they can still write about you, which means Google and AI bots can still learn about you. So you still are fresh and relevant, which is what AI wants. They want fresh, relevant stuff, content about you. All right, so that's our review platform. You know, we have QR codes. You can literally bookmark a QR code to your phone, so your reps don't need to have something physical. They can be at the house and just be like, hey, is there anything that Steve's Roofing Company did that would not that you would not want us to leave a 5-star review? And the person's going to say, no, you did a good job. So if they say, no, you did a good job, I'm going to ask them for a review right on the spot. I can get my phone out, click on a little bookmark. It's going to open up the QR code that's going to take you to that landing page. So there's a good way of collecting reviews. Any questions on that? Because I do want to offer time for people to ask about our system.
I got a question. So what's to stop just say the owner of a company or an employee from going on there just to fill out their own reviews if they don't have to have a profile?
So right? You could do that, right? So what happens is you get a notification in PMI, Project Map It, that says, hey, a review is left. And if it's a spammy review, which just so you know, we've had this in place for a year, I haven't gotten one. There's been like 3 people that have asked us to take a review down. We're not Google police, so we're not going to be hard. If there's a way in our system to request a review to be taken down, and we're not going to be like asking you for documentation and crap. If you want us to take it down, you're our customer, we're going to take it down.
Yeah, but I think my point is, I mean, so what's to say if we have our company with you guys from me just writing all the reviews? Is there?
You could do that. Yep, you could do that. It's the same as if I own my own company, I could call 50 of my friends and say, can you please log on to Google and leave me a review? You know? So there's always a way around everything. Just don't do it. I got my eyes on you. Perla, what's your company name? Can you write that company down? All right. Good question. Any other questions? Okay. So within our system, just to give you some ideas. So the media button, the map interactively changes. Media button people don't use much, but if I click on it, it's going to change the map to only show project pins with photos that they uploaded. This company does a great job loading photos. Okay? For your sales reps, you can click this refresh map button really quickly, and it just puts the map back to its original state. Sales reps, it's the smallest little thing, but sales reps love that part. The bread and butter is between the search for location and products. As a salesperson, you can click on this and you can either type in the address for effect. Like if I started typing in my address in Maryland, Cloister Road, whatever, I can start picking it out. And what happens is it'll zoom into Maryland, right? Obviously, there are no pins because this company's out of Rhode Island. Okay, but my point is, sales reps, a lot of times, they'll type in the person's address that they're sitting at a table with and be like, hey, check it out. It zooms in and there's like 10 pins around there. So right away, the homeowner is getting a feel of trust and confidence, that credibility that you've done work in their area. On top of that, have you ever had a customer want to look at a shingle color or siding color? Right? Have any of you, by show of hands, had to call either your distributor or your TM at CertainTeed or wherever and say, hey, can you tell me where there's a shingle color in a certain zip code? I see a lot of people laughing right now. I've told, just so you know, I met a bunch of great QXO people earlier, some SRS people. I told them all that if any of you ask for that in the future, say, go somewhere, go get project mapping and leave me alone. Because this is how our system works. So at the end of the day, this is the bread and butter. So CertainTeed Landmark, you can make it as a drop-down menu like this, like a collapsible filter or not. But it goes by shingle color, siding color, it can be anything. Yes, sir?
Can we upload like prior jobs?
Yes, you can.
Our CRM to populate?
Yeah, and this is where I think a deeper conversation where people wanted to know more at the last class. So imagine a blank map. You just signed up with us. You got no pins. There are tons of ways we can do it. How many of you order from either QXO, SRS, or ABC? Okay. If you do, it's as simple as going into your integrations tab and clicking ABC and signing in. That's a video of me, but you say connect with my ABC account, and it'll open up a page. You sign into your my ABC account. It's that simple. Okay. Same thing with QXO. SRS gives us a spreadsheet of your 5 years worth of delivery. So all three of those companies, supply companies, will give us up to 5 years of data. It depends what your branch that you ordered from, like when they put in their new system, their ordering system. So it varies. But it's easy as that. And then on top of that, if you order anything in the future from any of those supply companies, your map automatically updates. Now, that's supply company data. How many register a ton of CertainTeed warranties? Anybody? You do?
I don't register, but we do.
So if you did, CertainTeed, we literally can email CertainTeed, and within 10 minutes, they can email us back all of your warranty data, and we can at least start your map for you. Okay? So there's lots of ways. You can give me a spreadsheet, right? You've been in business for 20 years. QXO only gave us 5 years. You give us the other 15 years on a spreadsheet. We can upload it. Okay? So we work hand in hand. We really give you the white glove treatment at the beginning. If you have access to Company Cam and you want to give us your login credentials, we'll connect Company Cam. We'll spend 2 hours loading photos for you just to get you started. If you want us to connect any of the supply companies, you give us access to it. We'll connect it for you, do everything that needs to happen. Okay? We do a very good job. Just read our 192 Google reviews. You'll see.
Does it connect with any CRM?
We connect with, yes, we connect. We have an integration with Leap. AccuLinks is going to integrate with us in the spring, and we have the open API code with Job Nimbus that we need to code out, but I don't know when that's going to happen. What I learned as the owner is the supply companies were our bread and butter, and the reason is this. CRMs do a good job, but CRMs, you guys download what, like work type, trade type, right? Most CRMs aren't saying, hey, here's a spreadsheet of Moray Black roof at this address. You're not doing the colors most of the time in your CRM. So to show you the bread and butter, it's this. Let me go to Pinnacle again. So you want to look for Georgetown Gray. The homeowner's like, yeah, I'm thinking between Georgetown Gray and Granite Gray. Okay, let's look at some Georgetown Gray. The map changes to only show houses with Georgetown Gray. And the gallery view also switched to now only show houses of Georgetown gray. So I know that these jobs are all Georgetown gray from my gallery because I've tagged them Georgetown gray. So I can click on any thumbnail and in seconds show a homeowner what a Georgetown gray looks like. So that's why supply companies are better than CRMs. Supply companies do two things, right? They deliver material to a house, hence getting a pin on a map because it's the address. And the supply companies know what material they delivered. They delivered a Georgetown gray, 35 squares, boom. Make sense? Okay, so that's how pins work. We work with your team. Everything can have photos on here like this. To give you an idea of like the epitome, like the best kind of pin, this is the best, right? So a pin can have a YouTube video on it. All you do is you copy the URL to that YouTube video and paste it in our system, and you have your flyby. Maybe you're putting video testimonials of people, right, on the pin. So it's the homeowner giving you a video testimonial. You can put as many photos on there. You can write a job description. That's going to really help with AI searchability. We just launched this morning. I've been working on it for about a month. We just launched this morning a way to just voice record a summary of the job, and it will write the description for you within it takes 35 seconds, right? Like, hey, there was a dog rover. It was really nice to us. The customer gave each of our crew a $25 gift card to Dick's Sporting Goods. It was a great job. We did 35 squares of Georgetown gray, and it'll write it for you. Okay, so we have some cool things in the making as well. Any questions on onboarding or how it works? Do all of you see how in sales that could help? Do you guys see how that builds reputation and confidence for the homeowner? So just to be clear, we've seen a 3 to 10% increase in close rates for your sales reps. So if you have a sales rep that is closing at 33%, imagine 36%. Doesn't seem like a lot, but a 3% increase on an average of like, if a roof was average cost, let's just say $15,000, your reps run about 20 appointments a month and they close at 33%. If they close now 3% higher, that brings in another $150,000 for your company. And our system doesn't cost you $150,000, okay? All right, so that's Project Map It to its core. We embed on a website. I said this to my first class, like a lot of people will put an image on their first page with a call to action that says, hey, check out our work. So it does live on a website. Sorry, scroll down a little bit there. There's Matt Marshall's the owner of this company. And we also have a public profile page, which is going to really help with AI, I think. We think. So we're doing some cool things if I could find it. Well, this is it. But if I Google, yeah, this is it. So everybody has their own page, which is 100% reputation. You can write your job descriptions here. It has the pictures. It's got your reviews. The entire page is 100% reputation and trust builder. And for those that don't know, AI isn't looking at your websites anymore. AI is in seconds looking at everything on the interweb about your company, which is why pages like this can really help. Okay? All right. So now let's talk about the educational piece, the stuff that I've learned. Speed to lead. A form comes in. This is where I'm going to ask you all to share. A form comes in. Somebody calls. Let's say a form comes in, because if someone calls, you're going to talk to them. But if a form comes in and they sign it, they fill out a contact, what is your go-to? What do you do? What does your company use to reach out to that person? Cell phone? You call them right away. I love it. What else? Email. Is that automated or manual? Manual. Anybody have automations in place with your CRM? Call comes in, boom, a text message goes out in seconds. Okay, so I see some yeses. How many here, and this is the same question in the first session, but let's see. By show of hands, how many here would rather talk on the phone than get a text message? Who would rather a phone conversation? Okay, put your hand down. How many would rather a text message? I'm actually a text message. Okay. So how many would rather an email? Yeah, so text message or phone. Maybe somebody would rather an email. What do you think my point there is? Why am I asking this?
You got documents with text message.
Change it up, right? If I only phone call and I'm a person that doesn't like to talk to people, which there are people out there, then don't call, they're not going to answer the phone. I never answer my phone. I'm the owner of a company. Like you guys probably know, you get spam calls all the time, right? Like I will not answer that call. I tell all of our customers, text me first. Okay? How many times do you all reach out if a lead comes in? Minimum 3. Anybody more or less? 3 to 5.
As much as possible until you get a result.
As much as possible until an answer comes back, right? Like a text message goes out, it says stop. I made the mistake of answering a spam call one time about a month ago, and I kid you the F not. I had like 5 text messages within 30 seconds of a guy calling. I'm like, hey, this is Steve from Project Map It. And they said, do you need a new roof? I'm like, no, I got one put on like a month ago, which wasn't true, but I know how the game works. And they're like, okay. They hung up, and I switched 5 messages in like 30 seconds. Home Genius is still calling me and text messaging me a month later. So let's just talk about speed to lead, because this is kind of uncomfortable for some people, right? You guys get who gets that reference? Anybody? It would be the old people. Yeah, gray hair. Yeah, I see. So Top Gun, I got a need. A need for speed. All right, so some statistics. If you respond in 5 minutes, you're 100 times more likely to get a response back. The top contractors in the United States, 67% of them will respond within the first hour. By the 6th email, text, or call, notice they're switching it up here, you will reach 90% of them. This is the crazy one. 7 to 13 times reaching out, 7 to 13 touches. And those touches aren't text messages every time. It's a mixture of all of them, because we just validated that all of you would rather be communicated different ways. So let's hit them in different ways so that you finally get to the way they want to be communicated. Did I hear someone say that's true? Yeah. Thank you for validating me.
Hey, what do you think about handwritten letters, though?
I wouldn't want to handwrite them, but I as a homeowner, I would love that. I don't think I've handwritten. I can't handwrite anymore. I took a test like 10 years ago, a teacher exam, and they asked me to like copy a paragraph that said I wouldn't cheat, and they said you had to do it in cursive. I'm like, are you kidding me? First of all, I don't know how to write anymore. Second of all, you're asking me to write in cursive? Some of the young people are in here are like, what is cursive? Yeah. I'll come to my table. I'll show you how to sign your name. Okay, the average contractor only reaches out 1.3 times, right? So think about, that's a lot of lost opportunities. So if there's something you can take out of the need for speed, the lead thing, reach out more, mix it up a little bit. There is technology that can automate the entire process for you. So if the technology costs, $15,000 for a year or something like that, is it worth it if you sell 2, 4, 5 roofs because of it? Yeah. Some of the technology, I think there's another stat thing, but this is just what I already talked about. Oh, I do like this. So Home Genius, if I pulled out my phone and searched Home Genius on my text message, it would say it would show the message. Think about Project Map It in this, or think about being different than all the other people that are sending an automatic text message. How could you be different? Could you have a quick short link to the owner talking about your company? Hey, I saw you filled out this form. Please meet the owner. Okay? Could you have a link to Project Map It or something that shows your reputation? Hey, we do work in your area. Check out our portfolio of past work. Instead of, hey, this is Home Genius. Give me a call. Do I have any people from Home Genius in here? I know this is going to be online. I just thought about that. I love you, Home Genius. I'm going to get a call. Why are you blasting me? All right. Oh, the last one is a calendar. How many use a calendar? You can book right online for a free estimate. I would be that guy. I'd be the homeowner that would want to book a free estimate just by using a calendar. And this is all stuff that your CRM probably already does. How many would agree with this statement that you're probably not using your CRM to its fullest potential? Right? Like we are starting, our company is starting to grow pretty exponentially. And I'm like, holy crap, I don't know I got to automate this. I can't handwrite a letter every single time. So I hired someone and I pay that person $1,800 a month because she is an expert in HubSpot, my CRM. And she will do all the automations. It's made my life 1,000 times better. Pre-appointment stage. What do you all do when you set a free estimate? So I'm going, let's say Thursday, I'm going to a home next Tuesday. What is your process to reach out to that customer? You guys don't do anything? No. You call them. Okay, so you call and qualify. I like that. What else? Is that the day before? Okay. Okay. So my sales rep, little Stevie, is going to a person's house next Tuesday, so 3 business days from now, to provide a free estimate. Is there anything your company is doing on Thursday or Friday or even Monday the day before to kind of get your company in front of that homeowner peace of mind?
Yeah, we call and qualify, and then I try to see if we can move the appointment up.
Yep. Okay. So we're calling in and talking and building a relationship with the customer. What else?
Gathering information on their needs.
Through what? Are you emailing them? Are you?
It's all
You're,
phone call.
you're also calling. Is there a pre-appointment email that goes out anybody through your CRM that's like, and what does that email say?
Introduces me and just states
What we're, yeah, hey,
what we're looking to do.
Yep. Anybody else?
reconfirming the appointment.
Reconfirming. Do you know what percentage of the homeowner's mind has already been made up as to which of the 3 companies they're using? How far along are they? My husband and wife have already decided what percentage of which company? Give me an idea. Like, have they already made, have they made up their mind 50% of the way, 20% of the way? I'm going to use 50%?
50 to 70.
57 to 70%. They've already made up their mind. And why?
Based off
Amount of touches.
the conversation.
Could be based off of your current conversations with them. Could be the online research that they've done. They've looked at your reviews. They've checked out your website. They've looked at your socials. They've vetted you already. So out of the 3 companies, they already know, like, hey, I'm going with this company probably. They've already predetermined who they're probably going with. So think about beefing up. Like, not many of you said much when it came to pre-appointment. So think about an intro video. This is what I would say, something along these lines. Sorry. So email, instead of a lame email that says, hey, if you got any questions, give me a call. Do something like this. Thanks for booking with Best Roofing Company. Your appointment's confirmed, blah, blah, blah. Before I arrive, only 2 minutes of your time. Please watch this quick intro. Meet me and see what we'll cover. So the homeowner's like, okay, cool, what's this? So they click on it.
Here's an idea. So it goes something like this. Hi there, my name is Steve Spence. I work for Tar Heel Construction Group and will be coming to your house very soon. Really want to, first of all, thank you for at least having us come out for a free roof inspection. Just a little bit about me. I have a wife, been married for almost 19 years now. 2 kids. My son, Eli, he's going in 9th grade. Start real quiet. It'll be,
Talking about the process.
Climb up on the roof and check it out and see what's going on. I'll go into the attic a little bit. We use a product called Company Cam.
This happened in the Philadelphia Business Building Workshop 2 years ago. Contractor said, I sent a video, man. And you have no clue how great that does for the homeowners. Because in this day and age, they want to meet you before they meet you. That has nothing to do with Project Map It or our product. It has everything to do with building human trust prior to you getting to that door. They've already met your sales rep. You guys like that idea?
Yes.
Also on that, local portfolio, pins, reviews, and photos of nearby projects. Click here, and they're like, oh, what's this? They do work in our area, and they click on it. It opens up your Project Map It portfolio. Right? So now you're telling them what to vet you on. And you're telling them this is how badass we are. Look at all the work we've done in your neighborhood. Okay? So pre-appointment is a lot more important. There's a lot more relevance and importance to it than I think a lot of contractors put into it. A lot of emails that I hear are just like, hey, we'll be there at 2 o'clock. How many think that homeowners, if you sat at the kitchen table every single time, do you think there's a homeowner at any of that time that probably wouldn't want to sit at the table? And do you think that may have even turned them off to have to sit and listen to you for 30 minutes? Yes. So maybe in that qualifying phone conversation, or maybe you're in that video, or maybe in the email that you send out, it gives them the choice. Hey, we can sit at your table. It takes about 25 minutes. We tell our company story and our process. We share the products we use. Or we can go quietly, check it out, go home, send you a report. We want to work with you. We're not going to tell you what we're going to do. We want you to tell us what's the best way to work with you. All right. Hopefully that's good advice. I don't know. I think it's great advice. All right, so I'm running out of time here, but again, if you send text automations, maybe think about putting a short code into your Project Map It portfolio. We've had a lot of good things on that. Visuals, this is where I'm an expert. The digital presentation. Do you feel like a digital presentation helps your company story? And does it help build trust? Okay, some statistics for those that don't. and I am a 100% believer in this, and I did it for 20 years in the classroom, okay? You have 5 senses. Touch, what are they? Hearing, sight, feeling, smelling. Out of those 5 senses, which ones brings in information? Sight. 90% of information that is told to a human being comes through that sense of sight. 60,000 times faster images. So if you're not using a digital presentation, they're going to forget your sales consultants when they leave. If you use a digital presentation and you share your company story and talk about some things that shows the trust that they should have, they're going to remember. If you hand out the beautiful CertainTeed pamphlets or flyers, that's great. I'm not saying they're bad, but are they going to always read them? Maybe, maybe not. You don't know. And if they do read them, they only retain, what's it say, 20% of what they read if you're giving them stuff to read. Visuals are huge, okay? Maybe not every person is going to want a digital presentation, and I get that, and put that in your process and figure out how you want to deal with it. But it's very important, and I would just recommend you at least entertaining it. Some people use Engage. That's what I'm using. This whole presentation is Engage. Some people use your proposal tools. I know AccuLynx has a good proposal tool. Roofer, who's here, has a great proposal tool. People are using Canva. Who's heard of Canva? It's basically free, right? You can build a really nice presentation. Here's an example of a proposal. This is a roofer proposal. You tell your company story, you share the products you're using. Our company will build out a page that looks like this: local, reputable, reliable. You can click on that call to action button so you can add project mapping into every proposal. So the 3 phases people put PMI into the sales process: pre-appointment emails, in-home sales, digital presentations, in other words, and proposals. I'm running out of time. I mean, the post-communication is very, very similar to the lead to speed thing, persistent phase, right? You want to reach out a bunch of times, not to be annoying, but until you get that answer, okay? These are things you can consider, but this is the same thing. I won't go over that. This is our email system that goes out. We send 3 emails. Those are our tap cards. So we've talked about that. The onboarding is very simple for us. We will, if you have your ducks in a row, like you have good photos and stuff like that, we can onboard you in 24, 48 hours. Okay, it's not hard. If you're connected to one of the 3 supply companies, it makes it even faster, but it's not a requirement. If you give us a spreadsheet, we can take any spreadsheet and add it to your map and build your map for you. We build your map, we brand your map, we add the pins, we spend 2 hours adding photos, we train you, we'll do any integration you give us access to, we'll take care of you. Okay, and then the last thing is just the pricing. Not everybody knows this. So CertainTeed went to a different credentialing process. Do you guys all know that? So it's no longer Select Shingle Master and Shingle Master. It's Premier, Pro, and then Master. So if it's siding, it'd be Siding Master Premier, Siding Master Pro, Siding Master, Shingle Master Premier, Shingle Master Pro, Shingle Master. So if you don't know it, we can get what credential you are. Just being honest with you, we have like 250 credentialed contractors that use Project Map It, and some of them were Select and now they're not credentialed at all. So I don't know what your credential is. But typically typically it's $2,950 for the year for our product. We also offer a monthly plan. Okay? We do a show discount of $1,900. It's not like you have to sign up today. We'd love you to sign up today, don't get me wrong, but we give you till next Friday. We recognize like the decision makers might not be in this room, but if you're not a decision maker, on this flyer right here at the bottom right is Perla. That's her demo calendar. So if your boss is in another room or at the office or whatever, just set up a thing for schedule one for the decision maker, and Perla will go on a demo and share with your decision maker what project map it is. But we give you till next Friday to get this deal. So the first year it's whatever, $1,000 off. But this is where it gets crazy. If you are Premier, CertainTeed pays 50% of that. So like instead of $2,950, you're paying $950 a year the first year, or $80 a month, less than $100. If you're a Pro, CertainTeed covers 40%. If you're a Master, they cover 20%. So these are the 2 price plans. If you're interested, let's not talk to Perla or Pat going out. What you can do is you can text message Perla if that works for you. Her cell phone is here, she's here. You can come to our booth and say, I'm ready to sign up. I use QXO, I use SRS, I use ABC, whatever. I have a spreadsheet. We'll strategize with you and get you signed up. But this deal ends next Friday. Okay? So I'm not going to pressure you. That's not how we work as a sales team. We don't pressure you to buy in us. We hope that you see the value.